Well, this will be an interesting video. Being around rich kids has effed up my life. Now, obviously, I don't regret anything because I had some of the best friendships I could ever ask for, to be completely honest. And I learned so much about the world behind the scenes that most people don't have access to. So I'm not saying it like, oh, I hate it, but I'm just being honest. It has messed up my perspective completely, to be honest. What I've noticed is when you talk to people, a lot of normal people, they don't have this concept that the other people live better. So people just assume that, everyone has to go to work. This is the thing, I hear this all the time, everyone has to go to work. It's like, no, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. You are living in a delusional world. These people do not have to go to work. I mean, sometimes they do go to work, sometimes they don't. It just depends on what they feel like doing. I've seen firsthand how these people live. I've seen what it's like when you can just decide you want to go to a country one day and just go. My friend literally got an exemption. There was, in the global crisis 2020 in Australia, there was like this law where you couldn't leave the country or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but you couldn't leave the country. He got like an exemption. I don't know how he did it, but he somehow got a legal exemption to leave the country. There was the lockdowns, and he was like, I don't want to be locked down. Who's going to tell me what to do? And just got an exemption and flew away. Like, I remember it was crazy. Like, I couldn't believe it because it was apparently, they were making it very hard for people to leave. He just left. He did one. I mean, there were so many times in life. I remember like he was doing something and he would just like, there'd be like a consequence. He's like, I don't care, I'll be fine. Like he had nothing to, no one could really do anything to him. I mean, he was so friendly and he was so happy, and I've seen this firsthand. And it's really funny to me how people, I think some people now online are starting to realize that the rich do live very differently to poor people. Like they live not just, I mean, in terms of money. Like people who are poor often think, well, a rich person just has a nicer house than me. That's all they have. No, they have political connections, they have business connections, they can fly around the world, they have knowledge, they have all these opportunities that you only come when you're rich. People don't get this. When you're rich, other rich people talk to you. And then they're like, oh, I have this really good business opportunity coming up. Why don't we do that? And this is how they make money. They say, oh, I want to build one of my new, this person I know has a franchise. Well, they sold the franchise. But the point is, he could say, oh, by the way, this is a new location we're thinking of opening, and we're going to they have a lot of knowledge and they have a lot of things. And this is what money buys you, access to these networks. And so seeing this firsthand, it makes it really hard for me to work in some low paid job because I know what the rich do. See, I've been around some very, very poor people. And they sort of just think the world's a certain way. Like, okay, everyone goes to their job and everyone has their little house, and the rich people, they have a little bit more. I mean, the rich people, they don't understand that like the world is so different to what you think it is. The laws, everything, it applies differently when you're rich. Social rules apply differently when you're rich. My friend's father spilt tomato sauce all over himself before a meeting, a business meeting. I was there when this happened. And he thought it was hilarious. Ha ha, look at my shirt. It was a white shirt, had tomato sauce all over it. And it was like, it was the funniest thing. We all thought it was funny. Everyone thought it was funny. And the thing is, because of who he was in Australia, everyone goes, wow, like it's funny, what a cool guy. Like, he doesn't wear suits, but he wears a shirt and spills salt. Like, he's the cool guy, you know what I mean? But if like an unemployed person wore a white shirt and spilt tomato sauce on themselves for a job interview, they'd be a disgusting freak of nature or hobo or this or a bum or whatever they call, the names people call people, of course they're poor. It's all based around money. And that's the thing, like when you have money, because I've seen this firsthand, I can't forget it. Like a lot of poor people, they don't have that desire. Like, I mean, I've always had that desire to be in that, with those people, to be honest, because I like the lifestyle, I always wanted to have money. But the thing is, a lot of poor people, they don't realize what they're missing. This is the whole point of this video. They don't realize what they're missing. When you are around rich people, you see what you're missing. It's like, wow, you can have all this. People treat you amazingly. Everyone wants to be with you. That's incredible. Like, just the opportunities, the parties, all the things they get, the fact that they can, how do I say it? Certain people who are like famous want to know them. Like, there's all these opportunities they get behind the scenes that no one knows about. And I've seen this. I've also seen how a trust fund works. I've seen how like they have money managers that like do all the work. So people think, oh, well, the rich people work so hard to manage all their money. It's like, no, they don't. They have a money manager. I've seen this. And they just pay they have a firm, they just pay the firm to manage all their assets for them. Asset managers. It's so easy. Once you got the money, it's a great life. And they're actually very happy people. This is the other thing. People who are poor think, well, rich people must be miserable. It's like, it's not true. It's literally not true at all. I don't know where this myth came. I think it's a manufactured myth. There's obviously the odd person who is rich that is depressed. And I think that is sensationalized in the news or the media. You'll see some stories here and there of like certain people who are rich and depressed. They do exist, but they are not the norm. And people think, well, I saw on TV that some celebrity is depressed. It's like, yeah, they've probably already had some issues. But look, I don't want to get into that. But rich people are often very, very happy, to be honest. I've seen this firsthand. They're often very, very happy people. They have an incredible life and they love their life. And I remember thinking to myself, like, hanging around these people thinking like, wow, like, the myth that people are depressed is just not true at all. Like, they're often really confident. They're often just so secure with everything. Like, they don't worry about how they look. They don't worry about how they dress. They're a bit interesting because they'll often wear like sort of, depending where they go, they'll often wear like, average looking clothes, average like there's like normal clothes, but they'll wear like a fancy watch or something. They're not trying to show it off in the way you think they are. Because I don't really care, to be honest. It's really interesting. And because I've seen this, and I've also seen like the fact that so many of the things that make our lives bad, like, job stress and work, just dealing with bosses and stupid co-workers that are annoying and don't like you and all this crap you got to deal with, this doesn't apply to the rich. I remember my rich friend, he actually got a job once, and it was like just out of high school. He got this like retail job once, and he has a certain hobby that he's into, and I don't want to say too much about this guy because I don't want to give away who he is, but basically he had a hobby and he worked at a retail shop out of high school just doing this job. And I used to go visit him, and he did not take the job seriously. He just did not care. Like, nothing bothered him at all about anything. And everyone sucked up to him, and people who were way older than him were like sucking up to him, and everyone liked him because he was born into a certain family. And I've seen this firsthand. I can't forget this. Like, poor people just don't know what they're missing. They don't know what they're missing. I'm telling you, there's just so much they're missing out, and they have no idea. They're completely oblivious. This is why I made the title of this video. Being around rich kids has effed up my life. And I specifically say rich kids because yes, I have met genuine entrepreneurs, obviously like my friend's father, and there's some other people I know who've started tech companies actually. So I've known I have known some people who have, built it themselves, but a lot of the people that I was friends with were just like born into it. That's why the title is this video. And when you see that, like, I went to school with some people particularly, and one of my friends from school, a different person, I remember, like, he basically just failed school. He thought it was the funniest thing. He thought it was so funny. He didn't try. He didn't care. He was going to inherit his father's business, a very big business. And he had a certain, I don't want to say what the business was, but he was like, he had a very good deal coming up. So he had no reason to take school seriously. And I was so jealous. I remember like struggling with school because school's always been so boring and depressing for me. I'm a person who loves learning. I love knowledge, but I've hated school. Pardon me. I hated school because school is very, very depressing and dull and boring. But with my friend from school, I remember he just did not care. He was just busy talking about all the cool things he's going to do after school. He had no regrets. He did not care. Nothing bothered him. I saw this firsthand. I thought, wow. Imagine, and there were some other people as well that were like that as well, I knew. And even at university, there were people like this as well. They did not care. It's just like nothing matters to them. They've got so much money, it does not matter what happens to them. And I've seen this, and I've been really good friends with people. So I've had discussions about this with them as well. And I've seen that, and it's ruined my life because, like, I'm not saying it ruined my life in a way like, how do I say this? That's the best way I can describe it because it's ruined my perspective of life. Even though I have no regrets and I've always enjoyed being around these people. It's just, everything now, like when people tell me, oh, you should think about this type of job or this and that, and or you should be better to the boss, or all the things people tell me, doctors say it, or people sell these things to me, or you should have a better attitude about work, or whatever. My rich friends, they did not care. They had the same attitude. If we were right here, right now, they're obviously different people to me, but because they've lived a different life to me. But the thing is, we used to talk about this stuff with them. I'd say, oh, work's so crap. Oh, screw work. And he'd say, yeah, work's crap. Screw that. I don't want to be told what to do. They say all the things I say on this channel, the things you hear me say, they talk like this too, behind the scenes. Obviously, they don't necessarily go around in public parading it. Often, that's the other thing. Rich people don't have YouTube channels. That's the funny thing I've noticed. A lot of these people online, they're like, I make $50,000 or whatever. Maybe they do make money. But a lot of rich people who are born into a vast amounts of wealth, they don't have any need to go on YouTube and show it off to people. Like, it's just interesting because when I see a video on YouTube and someone's got like a jet or something, I think, are you renting that jet? Like, if you actually owned a jet, you would not show it, whatever. Unless you had a passion for flying, and that's a different thing. But anyway, I'm digressing again. The point is, it's really ruined my perspective on life because I can't take normal people seriously. And the rich people know about all the loopholes. They know about like how inflation works and how taxation works, and they're very clever. Like they're aware of like, owning assets and fiat currency, and like they're aware of stuff. They're really, really smart people, to be honest. They're actually really, really smart. And the people that are born into it, they're trained from a young age how to converse with CEOs. They're trained from a young age how to invest. Like they know all the stuff you need to know, to be honest. And like, they think school's a joke because my friend's father literally said to me, oh, school doesn't teach you anything. He's right. Like, he made a massive franchise and school taught him nothing. And I'm aware of this. Like, a poor person will be like, no, school's good. Like, it teaches you stuff, blah, 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 blah. But because I've been around these people, I know firsthand it doesn't matter. And that's the problem I've struggled with, And it's really ruined my perspective in just so many things about life. Like, I'm so aware because of these, to sort of wrap this video up, I'm aware because I know that if I was born into a family like that, my life would have been completely different. I know for a fact that I wouldn't have, like I, for example, I'll be honest with you just before I go, I can't say this too much on YouTube because there's certain words you're not allowed to say, but you know how some people really don't like life a lot, those people? In theory, I'm not saying but maybe there's a possibility I relate to those people in theory, right? Just I don't want to get the channel cancelled, but a lot of that comes from the fact I really, really hate the working world, to be honest. I hate the working world. And I see my rich friend laughing about how stupid work is, and I quit my job because it's hilarious. I got so much money, I flew to this resort, I get jealous. And I know that could have been me, if I was lucky. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just being like, I get annoyed. Like I think, I could have had a great life with you. I mean, we used to, And that's what I'm trying to say. Like a poor person just goes, oh, well, work's crap. I got to go to work, whatever. Oh, I guess, taxation. Oh, I guess I got inflation. What's that? Like they have no idea about how the world works. And I do. And so it makes me really, really depressed. And so even if you haven't been around these people, you probably, research this stuff online and you know about how the systems work and how governments just print money and how ridiculous the whole system is. And because I know this stuff, it's been exacerbated by being around rich people. So in a sense, being around rich people has kind of destroyed my outlook on life. But I have no regrets, to be honest, because it is who I am. And, I am the way I am. I've always been a bit different. I've always seen the systems for what they were. I've always known school was a joke, but it's kind of confirmed it to me being around these rich people. So I hope the video made sense. I hope someone can relate to the concept of what I'm talking about. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.